GM, Cape Town. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me to talk. Haven't done this in a while, since like my wedding. But anyways, so I'm going to be talking about Web3 marketing versus traditional marketing and how the game has changed. I don't even know what slide you guys are on. All right, cool. Let's start. Okay, it's just a cool picture, not important. All right, cool. So who's this dude on stage? So I'm Brandon. I head up social media at Audi Network. And so what is Audi Network? So Audi is it's an omni-chain trading infrastructure that unifies liquidity across blockchains, which is quite a mouthful. Try explaining that to your in-laws. It's basically impossible. But what it basically means is that anyone can easily add perps to their project just by connecting to the Audi chain. It's literally like a Shopify store, and it comes in with built-in liquidity. And we've done over $85 billion in trading volume. And we've got about 30 builders that have connected to it, including PancakeSwap, 2 centralized exchanges as well. And it's a very global team. I'm part of the team, and I'm literally the only one in the southern hemisphere. So it's cool. They don't even know I'm here. But yes. But more importantly for this talk is we've got over 360,000 followers now. And I'm going to take you, through how we got to that stage. I actually had notes here, but I can barely see them. But that's all right. I'm going to have to free roll this. Okay, so forget everything you know about marketing. The crypto community doesn't look at LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. It's just cringe. Facebook's great if you want to launch like a Ponzi scheme. You get this kind of crowd. So don't do that. We don't even look at Google search. We also hate hashtags. It's pretty cringe, and the Twitter algo doesn't even use it anymore, so I don't know why people are doing it. Also, the crypto community is it's a religion. It's the closest thing to it is kind of like football. If you had to hire me to do memes for a football project, it would be impossible because I haven't watched the Premier League for the past 10 years, but I was there at 2 a.m. watching Sam Bankman-Fried tweet what that was my Super Bowl. I've been there for the lunar crash. I've been through everything. So that's a very important part of it. It's also very easy to spot imposters. You can always see when it's a traditional web marketing company. Also, paid adverts don't really work. Crypto guys hate clicking on links. If I see a paid Twitter ad, it doesn't work. We never click on it. Also, ChatGPT makes terrible Web3 content. If I see one more time that this is, DeFi is a burgeoning industry. You see that word every time. I'm like, easy ChatGPT. Next. So where do we live? So we live on Twitter. Twitter's the Bloomberg terminal. It's the casino floor. You see personalities when they're their happiest, and also when they completely capitulate. It's a very brutal place. Also, Farcaster. So Farcaster is similar to Twitter, but it's a decentralized version. It doesn't really move the needle much, but it's where the nerds are hanging out, so it'll probably be something big in the future. So DBank I'm going to touch into a bit later on, which is this on-chain messaging platform. It's also really powerful. Telegram is super important. In fact, at my company, we have a no email policy. We only use Telegram, and it's very quick. All BD, everything, all chat is always done through Telegram. It's also great for your communities, your meme communities. And Discord, so Discord, most everyone knows, is great. It was, obviously it was originally designed for gamers, but it works perfectly for crypto communities as well. And then Galaxy. So Galaxy, I'll also touch on a bit more, but it's also a very powerful tool, and I'll show you how we gained 180,000 followers from it. Okay, so your Twitter. So your goal in crypto is to build an amazing X account. A good Twitter account is literally worth millions. You could have the best product in crypto, but no one will care if there's no mindshare on it. So it's absolutely important. I think it's honestly often more important than the product. For example, one of the most hyped projects at the moment is Chain, and basically no one knows what Chain is, but what the technology is, but everyone loves it, and it's because of that it's already valued at billions, and it's going to be a success. To run a good crypto account, you need a good Twitter account. So you need to understand the culture, the language, who to engage with, crypto history, memes, and algorithms. So it's quite a bit. It's a complicated story. So degen is always the best tone. Like boring stuff just doesn't work. Like if you see on the screen here, so this was actually a DM that Cantor. So Cantor was like this hyped blockchain, which now it's kind of fizzing out. But this is how they messaged us. They wrote, bruh. So I wrote GM Cantor. They wrote GM. I said, how can we help, sir? They said, great question. Can start some lithium for my mental illness. So it's like not for everyone. So you have to have someone who's like open to that culture and can talk like that. And this isn't like a once-off. This happens with most projects. We talk like GM, sir, and how can I help you? It's very like that. So yeah. So Twitter is kind of the first place that people do DD on your token and your project. So what they look at, so this is our page. So the first thing they want to look at is we have highlighted in red there. And first you want to see like how many mutual followers you have. That's like one of the biggest factors. So you can see here, this is my personal account. I've got 219 followers. Often these are like your KOLs, your crypto influencers. And how to get them to follow you, it's often they seed investors. They get like these great terms. And also, like, if you're a hub project, they are immediately going to like start following you. So that's super important to have. It's basically more important than your followers. And then also, so in terms of followers, you do want to have like a respectable following. You want to have just over a few thousand. If it's got like 2,000, 3,000, that's a bit meh. So you want to have 10,000 plus kind of thing. And also, engagement's also super important. So this is like a tweet. So there's 12,000 views on this tweet and 60 likes. So if we had 360,000 followers and there were like, 1,000 views, then it's quite easy to know that this is a botted account, and that's not good. People hate botted accounts. So here's an interesting case study. So Van Eck, it's an investment firm that manages around $90 billion in mutual funds. And in preparation for their Bitcoin ETF product, they hired a crypto native to run their Twitter account. You would think as an investment firm that they would have gone with like the boring route and just had charts and graphs, but they didn't. They went full degen, and they smashed it out the park. I kind of agree with that approach. I feel like no one on Twitter, I think Twitter's basically just crypto guys looking at this kind of stuff anyway. Like our parents are probably going to get this from mainstream media, so it kind of makes sense for them to make this full degen, and you can see the engagement that they've got, like 235 views. This was just a random tweet I pulled out, and they've gone with the frogs, and they've combined with the Pudgy Penguin community. And you can see in the reply game, it's an amazing account, and actually doing extremely well with their Bitcoin ETF product. And so I also think in terms of the way they ran it, it's not boring, and I feel like it's a waste of time just to have a Twitter account there with stuff going out that's just your generic stuff, and you get like 200 views and that kind of stuff. Like, is it even worth it? I feel like you've got to embrace the culture. You've got to go full degen, and otherwise I think you're just wasting resources. So this was, you've got to be like really comfortable with writing absolute nonsense. So this is us, the design was off. So that's not an issue. Just went onto Canva, found a pesticide ad, put in our stats there, and people loved it. Also videos are extremely popular on Twitter. You just take random, I'm constantly scrolling through looking for videos and bookmarking them and saving them for later, and you just share those. Often these things go really viral, quick kind of stuff like that. So that's actually one big thing that helped us gain a lot of followers, but I'll take you through that properly. So how we went from 0 to 350,000 followers. Okay, my text is pretty bad there. Terrible slides, but yeah, so 0 to 10K followers, this is like your hardest part of the whole thing. You've got no followers, so no one actually sees your content. You're just tweeting, and no one's actually seeing it. So what you have to do at this stage is be like a reply guy. So a reply guy basically means whenever someone famous kind of tweets, you're going to reply something there, but it's got to be like funny, it's got to be interesting. You can't just, a lot of people like using ChatGPT for that, and that just doesn't work. A reply guy needs like a ton of crypto knowledge. You have to look at a tweet and within like a second know all the historical context about it, what's trending at the moment, and it's quite an art to it. So you kind of need to hire a crypto native. If you see, I've put a picture there. UAE tweeted something about crypto transactions of no taxes now. You can see immediately like this guy Alan Carroll posts something of crypto Twitter running to UAE with a chicken. Just like random stuff like that. It's kind of funny. You've got 42,000 views, so it's really powerful to help grow your account. And even when you're at the stage, you've got to keep posting good content, even though no one sees it. Eventually, people are going to see it. They're going to start scrolling back at your tweets, and that's super important. So you've got to just like keep going. But it's brutal. For 2-3 months, we just had 1 follower, 2 followers. It's like the worst thing ever. But eventually, it just picks up. So then there's certain tools. So once you get 10,000 followers, you no more have to be like a reply guy. So like reply guy, when we were doing it, I would reply to 50 to 100 tweets like a day, which is like a full-on job. It's hard. You have to have list notifications, exactly what's going on, which is very time-consuming, and it's often at midnight, that kind of thing. So at 10K plus, you can calm down on replies. Now your content's actually getting some views, so you can now do some cool stuff. So there's a platform called Galaxy, which is, if people don't know, it's actually probably the most popular platform in crypto. It's like crypto's hidden secret. It's the best way to kind of boost your account. It gamifies people to go and try out your product, enter a few things, and in return, they get like an NFT, that kind of thing. So we did it. We gained over 180,000 followers from it. A lot of them are actually useless followers. They're just guys who just are in it to get competitions, and they're not going to be good customers. But of that 180,000, whatever, 20,000 were actual good followers, and you've got to just know that that's going to happen. But it looks good for your Twitter account. All of a sudden, we went from 10,000 to 190,000, which is big. Another useful tool, I found this one's super interesting. It's called DBank, and DBank is like this on-chain messaging platform. So I found like a random profile for this talk, so I picked him because he's Nelson Mandela. He's probably South African. You can see he's got a portfolio of $1.6 million. This was 3 days ago. It's probably like 1 million now. And you can see that. So you can see they use a ton of chains. Look at this base mode, BMG. Actually, I looked them through. There's 32 chains. So you can kind of look at this kind of character and be like, okay, cool, this guy's obviously a yield farmer. He's on 32 different chains. I have a trading product. It's probably not going to work for him, but if I had a yield product, this is great. I can message him directly. And you can see there's got like an offer price. So it costs $3 to message this guy. And only if he opens it will he pay $3. You can actually see his earnings. So he's actually made $1,200 just from opening messages. So it's a super powerful. So what we do often as well is called like vampire attacks. So we can go like, obviously we in the perp space, we'll go and look at DYDX, which is a big competitor, and we'll look at all their traders and we'll say, hey, you guys are trading there, it's costing you 20 cents a trade. If you just switch to orderly, you actually be getting paid $1 per trade because you have a token incentive, and that's a great way of actually getting us a lot of traders. It took our trading volume up a ton, so it's super effective. And people like it, like I like getting a DBank message. It gives me $1, $2. And yeah, you can also do like a lot of analysis on it to find out exactly who they are. It's a super cool tool. This is just what like, your inbox looks like. So this is after we sent a campaign. So you can see immediately, this person's worth $69,000. This one's $12,000. Like imagine you could do this in Web 2. We can just say, oh, okay, I can see exactly how much this guy has, exactly what he's bought over the past year, how rich he is. Then you can dive deeper, get the whole history. It's a super powerful tool. I definitely recommend it.
2 minutes.
Next, probably your most powerful tool is KOLs, so crypto influencers. They're very expensive. These guys are extremely wealthy. They're going to ignore you tons of times. It's like they think they're like Warren Buffett in a way. So it's extremely hard, and it's very important to pick the right KOL. So like often how we actually got a lot of KOLs is obviously through a seed round. We have a KOL seed round where they get these favorable terms. But also you kind of buddy up with one lead KOL, and he kind of gets all his friends involved, and they all start coming to you like, hey, can we also buy in? We want $10,000 as well, and then they start like kind of shilling you. And you can actually see, like, there's a tweet by DeFi Squared, who's a really popular influencer. So we actually didn't pay this guy, but he tweeted about us, and you can actually see that our token price pumped just 20% of that, which adds millions of dollars to your market cap. So it's actually an expense that's probably worthwhile. But yeah, also very important to pick the right KOL. There's a lot of, there was recently like this KOL award ceremony, and the whole of Twitter didn't know any of these people. So you got to be really picky on. A lot of them are like complete scams. Okay, this thing's not really working now.
That's not me, by the way.
There we go. This is another unique thing you can do, which is ambassador programs. So this is the way also we grow following by like another 50,000 people. Ambassador programs are basically where you outsource tweets to everyone else. So you go to the community and say, hey, if you guys tweet, we're going to have a bounty. Every time you engage with a tweet, we'll give you like a small kind of bounty, a bit of our token. And it's extremely effective. You start seeing the whole timeline flooded with your stuff, and it's great for mind share. Generally, the content is generally a bit meh. And often when you look at projects and you see like shit, everyone's tweeting about this project, what's happening, it's because there's an ambassador program. Like you think it's like unique, it's not. Everyone does it, Layer Zero does it, like everyone does it. Like the biggest projects will do it. So it's not like a unique thing. It's a very common tool, and it can be pretty cheap actually. You can often do it where it's like, hey, you just get an NFT for doing this. So especially before you have a token, before you launch, you get the airdrop circulated, so they get very involved. It's a great way of growing that. Actually had another slide that was different, but yeah, so if you want to get in touch. But the best marketing technique ever to gain everything is if your token price just keeps going up. Everyone loves your project, so I highly recommend it if you could just pump your price. And yeah, that's about me. If you want to get in touch, you can follow me on Twitter, Telegram, no email. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that, Brandon. Good job, man.